Hi everyone, I'm going to do another video on the trend trading strategy, and I'm going to do like a walkthrough example of the more aggressive approach. Okay, now important thing to get with this idea is you're going to be losing most of the time. You're going to have pretty low win rate with this, and if you're going to be like constantly watching your losses and your balance, then it's going to be really mentally tough. I think really, if you want to trade this way, the best way to look at it would be, say, in 1 month blocks. And what you find is you just lose and lose until the market kind of puts in a bit of a trend, and then you win big, and that clears your losses and puts you into profit. So a lot of the time it feels like what you're doing is not working at all, and the only thing really to kind of deal with that is do your back testing, and you can trade all month and finish up at the end of the month -8 or -9R down or 10R down. That's quite possible. But when you get a month where you get a few consecutive days moving strongly in the same direction, then you get months where you've won 20, 30, 40R. So that's the reality of it. The cost for trying to make big returns is you're going to have long periods of losing, and also I've suggested trading this way and then aiming for 4R. There's no reason you can't go for 8R, or you can get to 4R and then start trailing. There's like many ways that are going to show profit, but they all kind of rely on you taking a lot of losers, having a low win rate, and securing those big wins. So I want to do a bit of a walkthrough. I'm not going to kind of go into detail about whether this one hit TP or not, or explain each trend change, because it'd just take too long, and really I just kind of want to show how to sort of add the positions, and how you just kind of bang away until you catch one of those trends. Okay, so for the purpose of this, let's just assume that I'm looking for the last high that pushed price to a new low. Okay, and if I'm in a short trend, when that breaks, I'm going to start looking for longs. Okay, so then this high pushed it down to this low, and then this turning point pushed it down to this low, and this one down to this low, and then this one down to this low. Now we break that high, and then we switch to longs. Okay, so then I'm looking for a break of this low that pushed it to a new high, this low that pushed it to a new high. Just swing points, basic higher highs, higher lows, like that. And with this, you're going to have some grey area, and I've discussed a little bit in the past, when you get those kind of grey areas, you can either just stop trading and wait until it's obvious again, or you can switch to my high low, where you take a long and a short, and whichever one survives breaks out, and then the trend becomes obvious again. So you kind of have a few options with that, and I should add that it's going to be tough. A lot of the time you're going to be feeling like you should have changed trend and you haven't, and you take a loss when you've already taken 10 losses in a row. You just kind of have to roll with those, because there's no real sort of getting away from it. Okay, so how we had, so starting from 1st of April, okay, and we are looking for shorts, okay, so this would be our first short here, and this one goes down to 4 to 1 risk to reward. Now what I'm doing with the more aggressive approach is I want price to move away from that entry, I want it to retrace, and then I can add one more. Okay, this one stops out, it moves away, it retraces, I can add another trade. Price moves away, it retraces, I can add another trade. Okay, next day, no entry, probably got taken in there, it moves away, it retraces, I can add another trade. Okay, and then I think here you'd be in a trend change, it retraces, add another trade. Price moves away, retraces, add another trade, stops out, add another trade, it moves away, retraces, add another trade. It moves away, retraces, add another trade. Okay. Then we have another trend trade, so we're looking for shorts. And here, another trend change, looking for longs. Okay, and then you can have periods like this. So you take a long, it stops out. You take a long, stops out. Have a trend change. You take a short. Doesn't really move away. Stops out. Marginal trend change. So when they're marginal, I just stick with the direction I'm going. Stops out. Trend change. We're looking for longs. This one stops out. Long, this one stops out, trend change, short, stops out, short, that one becomes a winner. Short, stops out, short, that's a winner, retraces, add another trade. Okay, short, stops out, short, moves in your direction, retraces, add another trade. Doesn't really move away, but stops out, add another trade. Stops out again, add another trade. Price moves in your direction, retraces, add another trade, it stops out, add another trade, and that one goes through the TP. So you see, we're just taking a trade, waiting for a price to move away from that trade, retrace, and then you can add another trade. And it sometimes it will be like this. Okay, so we take this long, moves away, retraces, add another trade, doesn't move away, the second trade stops out, retraces, add another trade. So sometimes you're kind of adding on the same levels, but you're just looking for price to be making that pattern, the higher highs, higher lows. You're trend trading, basically. Very, very simple trend trading, and then aiming for a slightly larger risk to reward. Okay, so when I did those aggressive tests, that's how I did it, and it seems to work out really nicely. Like I say, you have long periods where you're in drawdown, and sometimes you can be 2.5 weeks into the month and have made literally no money at all, and then you just get a week or a week and a half where it trends, and you wipe out your losses and take a big win.